have to cry no more.
I tell you we want church.
We won't have to cry no more.
Hi, and welcome to another segment of KISS. That is, keep it simple, sir. Keep it simple, senorita. Keep it simple, senor, sister. Thanks to God. We thank God we have another great production coming your way. Praise God. The studio is full. And we thank God for our very special guest. Our subject today, we'll be talking about recovery in the community. Recovery in the community. Praise God. And my special guest here, Dr. Tawana Hawkins, Lontrell Green, and Carolyn Massey. Praise God. And we're going to let them introduce themselves, starting with Dr. Hawkins.
Just Tawana. You're going to give me a doctorate. Hello, my name is Tawana Hawkins. I am the CEO and Director of House Restoration. And I come today to hopefully share some great information about our community and recovery.
Okay, praise God.
How you doing today? My name is Lontrell Green. I'm the Housing Service Coordinator.
Okay, praise God. We're going to hear some more about that, aren't we?
Oh, well, yes. We're going to definitely get into that.
All right. All right.
My name is Carolyn Massey, and I'm one of the women that's living in her residential service house. I'm also a post-traumatic stress military sexual trauma veteran that she opened up her door to me, and I would love to be able to share what she has done for me since I have been there in her house.
Okay, that's a blessing. We're glad to see and hear. You get used to me, a lot of the ministers and those that in clergy, I sometimes refer to them as being doctors. And they say, well, I'm not a doctor. I said, you're in the healing business, aren't you?
Okay.
Okay.
I receive it.
Do you have to have the paper to be in the healing position?
No.
Both physically, mentally, spiritually?
Healing come in all forms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is a doctor.
Right.
Natural phrase. And you know, I'm so blessed. We're blessed today, and Ms. Hawkins is such a special person in our community. And I just want to mention a few things about her that I have here. Ms. Hawkins, a native of Pensacola, Florida,
Yes.
and is the CEO of House of Restoration Community Solutions, LLC, and founder of Jewel Gifts Dayton. Tawana is an honored graduate of Central State University with a bachelor's in criminal justice. I didn't do it. She is also a licensed chemical dependency counselor with the state of Ohio and mentors others while on volunteer projects. Also an inspector with Ohio Recovery Housing as a peer reviewer. She has over 20 years serving in the community, empowering, helping, and educating others. Tawana has the passion and dedication to find positive ways to uplift the community. Can't you tell?
Of course.
Listen up just with a smile, don't she?
Man, she's a walking blessing if you see her in action. Hands on by all means.
Hands on.
She'll go
I think
to
I'd be
every
a
house.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I didn't get anything back on your bio. It's a little bit more that you want to share with me about yourself being the housing authority.
Let's see. I was born in Southside Chicago. We moved here to Dayton around when I was about 5 or so. Other than that, I played drums, graduated from Meadowdale High School. Okay. When I got with Miss Tawana, I had recently lost a friend due to drug use.
Okay.
And it kind of hit me kind of hard.
Oh, yes.
So to get back and try to help and pick up my spirits, it's been an honor just to help people and help get them back where they need to be.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And you know, being my show and this being a Christian show, we always have a little Bible scripture here, and we're blessed to be given Philippians 4:13. I don't know if they could bring it up at this time, but Philippians, it's a very short verse, but it's a very powerful verse. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things. That's a positive attitude to have. And I'm so blessed and I'm so thankful for you guys and people like Mrs. Tawana Hawkins here, because I worked the prison ministry years ago myself. and I work juveniles in those areas, so I know some of the levels of stress and the things that ones go through. Now, having that positive attitude is something that our people need to have and understand that inferior complex have been put upon, and that is driving us into the ground. And I was so happy for Mr. Obama because he proved what the positivism in being able to say, yes, we can. And Scripture says, so a man thinketh, so is he. Life and death is in the, don't bother me, I'm a minister. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So therefore we speak it, we live it, and we achieve it. Now I'm going to take a break here and let Dr. Hawkins do a little talking about what we were doing here with the recovery in this community.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we're doing here, and I'd just like to share our mission. Mm-hmm. Our mission is to provide a safe environment for those in recovery while they're transitioning to a positive, substance-free and crime-free lifestyle. Mm-hmm. A lot of times when people use drugs and do things in the community, they go back to the old people, places and things because they believe there's no one out there to help them. Mm-hmm. They don't know about these wonderful programs that are right here in the community. Mm-hmm. We are right in the community, in the west side and the north side of Dayton. And we're serving people every day. And the biggest part is getting the word out. Yes, there are people that care. There are still genuine people that want to help and support you. And we want to provide a safe place that you can get all your foundation back, create that solid foundation in life. So that's all I want to do is be that light in that matter of darkness when no one can see nowhere out. I want to just be there shining and say, yes, come on, let me help you. And I'll extend a hand, and I'll do that to anyone. If you want recovery, you have to want it, because I always want it for others. Yes. And then I had to say, wait, I gotta wait till they want it. And then as soon as you want it, I'm right there, right next to you all the way.
Yes. You know, that's the key I often said in ministry. When you get tired, if you're not tired, it's hard for you to make a change.
Yes.
That's right.
And a lot of times we don't get to the point of being tired, and sometimes we get so systematically caught up. We say within the prison it become institutionalized. So sometimes even on the street you become institutionalized to a drug or something. Even when you want to get off, there's a lot of things there to keep you from. And it's just like other fields that people get habitually. We get that stigma and we feel like we can't let go because everybody see that as you being what you was rather than what you can be. And there is a stigmatization. Yeah, there is a peer pressure. There is a point. And it's sad, but sometimes people, we speak of the word prejudice. And I think so many people are prejudiced without realizing it. And it's not a racial thing because the word prejudice only means to prejudge. And how often do we prejudge something before we actually move into that area?
As soon as you hear about it, you're going to prejudge.
Yes.
You prejudge when you see it. You prejudge when you hear it. Until you experience, you won't know.
Exactly. And there's so many reasons that people get into that area. Don't let me do all the talking. I'm just a host, but I want to hear from you. And because I'm a talker, I don't mind talking. Let me see. It's so many things area that I know, the people that I have known that was professional athletes. And all of a sudden, they got hurt. They could no longer perform. They didn't have any medical plan. And some very good people, some very good sports figure, end up on drugs for the pain and the suffering that you're going through. You understand me? You feel me? So our job's cut off. Come on now, you can jump in there.
Because it's so easy for people to actually get to drugs or get on drugs, give or take, especially when it comes to like opioids and the medications and things like that, trying to escape the pain or trying to do what you can to get away from the pain, end up getting stuck on the drug. The pain's no longer an issue, but you keep going back to the drug. So what we try to do is let your peers help provide, let your peers be the support as well. I've been telling her for the longest, I go to the residents and I let them know, I'm gonna need at least 60% out of you. I can't want it more than you. This ain't my life, this is yours. Now, everybody need a little bit of help on becoming self-sufficient. We can try to give you that 40, next time you may need 30, next time you may need 20. Sometimes you only need just 2 or 3, but at first you gotta give me 60 before I just go, I can't give you 50%. This is not half my life. So we try to use that support system with our peers to help get them going. We offer them different programs. We go and check on the houses. As the housing service coordinator, I'm liable to go do room inspections. I can do a random drug test. I will do anything from making sure your room is clean and making sure if you need help getting somewhere. I can't do everything, but I will try to give you what you need to get to where you need to get to.
Yes, yes.
So that's what we do here.
I mean, it's realizing the bottom dollar, as we might say, is discipline.
And it's a hard thing.
I was going to need a bouncer.
Yes, he's a bouncer, security.
Yeah, well, I'm also,
You know,
I'm all of the above.
That too, if necessary.
Any supplies we need at the home?
Just about, when it comes to the house,
Yeah.
I'm there for you. If your stove go out, I'm coming with another one.
Okay.
If your dryer go out, I'm picking it up for you. Whatever your case may be, we're trying to make sure you know that this is a home you're coming to. You're not coming to some type of program. This is your home.
Yes.
Treat it as such. Now, if you're the type to disrespect your home, we have rules for a reason.
Yes.
So if you can't follow them rules, then we will help you find somewhere that's better fit for you.
Yes.
But we try to help everybody coming in.
And that's the thing, I often mention the word discipline because a lot of individuals doesn't come from a disciplined area they grow, they have to learn.
Yes.
And also with their being on a certain drug, depending on how strong the drug is, they might have kind of fried that part, like that part of their brain, where you have to re-educate them, re-teach them,
Yes.
just basic ways of living.
Yes.
This is how you save money. This is how you catch the bus.
Yes.
This is how you properly wash dishes. So it can be something small, it can be something large.
Yes.
But all those pieces go together to make a person.
Yes.
We're just trying to help restore those life skills.
Oh, yes. That is a very special job, and it takes a very special person to handle that situation. Because as you say, and lots of people don't realize, even in leadership sometimes we can prejudge. And it's a job in trying to not to categorize everybody in the same, because other ones have different areas that they come from, different learning skills and abilities. And so, yeah, doctor, what you said, Doctor who? Sometimes the doctor had to pick up the stick. The persuader.
And we're pretty welcoming.
Tough love works with certain people.
Yes.
Learning how to give the right type of love
Yes.
is a big thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need tough love, sometimes you need smart love. Sometimes you gotta sit back and figure out the type of love that individual need for them to get to that next step.
Yes.
Because once they finally realize that it's okay to love yourself,
Yes.
that's when they start making that progress. And then it feels good to be like, oh, Trell, I'm doing this now. I'm like, man, it's hard to keep up with you.
Yes.
So it feels really good. It feels really good to be able to help.
Yeah. And then you feel a lot of times, I don't know, my experience seemed like a lot of times in working with special individuals, you have to separate them from the peers. I remember how many times I would go into prison. As long as they're in population, they got to wait, they got to carry, they got this special thing about this.
They got to uphold.
But when we get one-on-one, I can deal with the real man, the real woman.
And we get to see that when they're
Yes.
coming in. We get to see that raw person, because a lot of the people coming in barely have anything.
Yes.
They went down that long road
Yes.
and trying to find whatever it was, and it wasn't there. So I tell them, whatever you was thinking, give me a chance to help you through that. So with that being said, they may not have an ID, birth certificate. We're able to come and help them find all the clothing and food. A young lady said she hadn't had a home cooked meal in so long. So when I hear like, oh my God, I can't wait for you to get there because you can cook your own meals, or the ladies that cook together.
Yes.
And speaking of cooks, we have a cook sitting next to you. So
okay.
I'm waiting for this special meal. But I have some really great people, and coming to this field, you meet the individual.
Yes.
So you can't judge. And Miss Carolyn will fuss at me, but I give the door open to anyone that wants help. I'll give you a try. Now everybody may not want it, but I will give you, everyone will get a try. Just to say, hey, here's a home. Let's see if you can do some self-care and love yourself today. If you don't know how, we'll teach you.
Yes.
We'll show you. So with that being said, it gives them the opportunity to actually look at themselves instead of being in, like you said, in that crowd of people. I get to actually look at myself. Who is this today? I get to look in the mirror and say, how am I going to grow today? What do I need to be doing? Because we get distracted.
Yes.
We do. We get so distracted and we want to fix everything, but work on yourself and everything else will fall into place.
Yes.
I tell them I'm a living witness of it. I said, I practice it. If you want to see an example, I'll show you. And I write my list. I'll say, thank you, God, whatever I'm doing that day. And I keep going. And I don't worry about how it's going to get done. Because that's the biggest one. We always go, how are you going to do this? Well, how am I going to? And we get there and we get stuck right there. You ain't got to worry. You've already spoke it. And God's going to lay out the rest of your plans.
Yes.
She is an angel here on earth. I was thankful and grateful to meet her because I was coming out of the VA treatment center, and I came out. I didn't know at the time it was a disease. I just thought it was drugs all my life. And coming out of a treatment center, they have nothing for females in the community, nowhere for us to go live, nothing for us. And I just been home a couple of years here, coming out of Cleveland, and there's nothing really there for the females. Everything is in the community. We don't have nothing separate for us. And so through my sponsor, her sponsor, some kind of way, she familiar with Tawana's house, and she told me about it, and I was like almost pulling my hair out my head because I had called Miss Tawana, and I was wanted to get into her house, and I got a phone number from my counselor, and first, how did you get my number? But I know she was going through some things, and it wasn't so much of, she was just taking care of some personal things, because I was just nervous because I gave up my apartment, I gave up my house, I gave up furniture, I gave up everything in order to get back into the system of recovery for me, for myself. And she let me in, and it's like, oh, heaven here on earth, because it's a 4-bedroom house, and it's really how you want to come in. If you want recovery for yourself, all you got to do is go do the guidelines, the rules that she has, go to meetings, keep clean. But she has East End community that supports her, that supports me also, because there's nothing here after I got out the treatment of the VA, it's nothing for me. So I was just grateful and thankful for her. And it's been good since I've been there. I told her, I really wasn't gonna move. If that roof fall in on me, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna stay there. And I said I was gonna cook some collard greens for her. And she gonna tell everybody in the program. I said, you're not gonna get none down there. Anybody tell you to tell everybody I was cooking no collard greens? I said, for you. And I just want to be grateful and thankful because I'm a senior citizen, and this is the first time, if I tears of joy, that I've ever been in a place and I feel warmth and I feel her heart and I feel she's really out there for you, because I done been in some places in Cleveland, and I mean had to like almost get Cassius Clay with the people that was running the place, you know, because it wasn't so much of the recovery and to help us get back into the system or learn how to live without the drugs one day at a time. And it was about the money with these people. It's money. You know, you have to really have a heart. And, you know, and I just thank God for her. You know, I'm at a nice place. The people say, oh, the West Side, I'm at home. You know, the West Side, I'm at home. And Westwood, I'm at home. You know, I love it. I love it. And right now, I have just one roommate, and me and her get along spectacular. You know, sometimes I'm at the house by myself, sometimes she's at the house by herself, and I treat it like it's my place. You know, buy a little clock or get a little pictures and put on the wall, because it's really our house. It's God's house and her house, and it's really our house. And I've never, in my senior citizen years, all these years from being out the service since '86, have ever ran into a place or a person, and with her help, Terrell, that's really out there for us, that's really fighting for us. I mean, she really has the heart. I've never experienced this before, so I know my steps is ordered. I know it's meant for me to be here and to go through this, to be able to reach out to some of the women that's coming in behind her, behind me rather. And I'm just grateful, and thankful we can go as we please. We got a curfew, which I'm glad I got, because I don't have no business being out at the certain time, you know. And she doesn't expect much of us, but a meeting once a week. You know, she doesn't, as she call it, helicopters. She doesn't check on us. She ain't calling, seeing what you doing. She ain't babysitting, you know. And it's for you to, if you want it, if you really want it. Not, these aren't the people that need it. These if you want it.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful and thankful that she put herself out there, and I was able to get connected with her. Like I said, I know my steps was ordered. I was supposed to be there in that house and to meet both of them, and I was supposed to be there. I'm meant to be there. And she's not there. When the women come in, she lets them in, but I kind of like check them out. You know, I could see who's in there for game and who ain't for game. And if they ain't for the right thing, they gone. You know, we had no compassion on that. You know, they gone. You know, I call Mr. David, they's gone. She don't want nothing. You know, game recognize game.
Oh, yes.
You know, she has such a tender heart. But you're really not running nothing over her. Some of these women, they think, because she has us coming in there. And then the best thing about it, we don't have to pay for at least 30 days. You go in the place, they want your money. They want everything. They want to scoop you. They go see where you come, where your money, where it's going, where the taxes and all that. She gives you 30 days to come up in there. And when I was gonna pay, she said, "Well, we can prorate it." No, we're not. I'm gonna pay the 30 days, even though it was my time. I wanted to pay what I needed to pay. You know. And I'm just grateful and thankful. And whatever we need, she's Johnny on the spot. He is too. They come and supply our needs, and it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I just love it. I'm so comfortable there. It's like my own home. I'm here in Dayton in my own home. That's what I call it. And I go to my meetings all day long. I'm in a fellowship there, and I'm just now learning. You know, being in the service, I didn't know it's a disease. I was just trying to numb the pain for what happened to me in the service. I too am alumni of Central State. I was in that tornado when it hit in 1974. Do you remember the tornado?
Yes, but I was out of the country.
Oh, you was out the country? Okay. Well, that tornado, it did some damage. That was the first tornado that hit Ohio. And we just had one black man died, and Xenia was 300 people missing in Xenia. And I'm just still grateful and thankful that she gives me a chance at being a senior citizen, you know, and I'm just not learning that it's a disease, it's a thinking up here, and I didn't know that. I was just numbing the pain for what happened to me in the military. You know, and I was just numbing it for things that happened to me.
Medicating it.
Yes, and I'm just grateful and thankful.
I know you old enough to remember, I found love on a... Well, that was back in church. And so many people looking for love at all the wrong places, I'd say. And I identify with you because I got a lot of my babies live in Cleveland, in Pennsylvania, so I understand where you're coming from. And there's a lot of places that people are in there just for the money. And the thing is, and it's across the board professions, in the medical profession, in the police department. Everything. One of the brothers say, follow the paper. And that's where a lot of people, but to find somebody with a heart for people first, and I looked at her and I seen love. This is to get a smile. And the thing is to take a special love. And sometimes we're gifted with that, just a love for people that God placed in. In fact, when I felt the love, and when I was younger coming up, and I didn't know what it was, and listening to my peers, I thought I was supposed to be a Don Juan or something. I didn't understand. It was a different type of love. And sometimes people mistaken you even when you show love to them because they never really experienced that type of love.
So they only receive it one way.
Love. Nothing back from you. Just want to see you do
unconditional.
Good.
Yes.
They only know how to receive love one way because that was the only way. That's the only love they're familiar with. When they get a taste of unconditional love, they be like, like, what is this?
What do you want? What
Can I get more of this?
What do you want from me? Nothing.
So
You need to do good.
we do a lot.
We have to relearn a lot of things. And some of us that was a little younger, you know, we didn't know what we had in the 50s and 60s. we didn't know we could leave our front door open all night long, sleep on the porch. Now we look back and say, oh, well, we had it made.
Right. You got the lock it
We didn't have all of them. And the neighbors, they look after your children. And
Right.
You can play outside all day.
Right.
yes, and they always said it take a whole village to raise.
Right. The neighbors would tell on you if they see a boy
yes.
coming in and out your house.
Oh, yes.
Stay out. They would. There's always a village.
But we didn't realize what we had then. We were looking at something we thought was, and now we look back, we reach back, oh boy, I wish I had those days again.
Yes. Yeah.
But those days would come, well, those days may not, but we can individually work on those where we are. And you know, the thing is, the angel that you're talking about, you see, and we hopefully others emulate what they have seen.
Yes.
In other words, a lot of times I had, in pastoring, sometimes we have some ones that see some mothers pass on. And one young lady come to me, she said, oh my God, the young people, we're gonna lose this special mother. They just don't know how sweet she is. They don't know the love I've seen. And I looked at her and said, baby, you know, you see. Let the love you experienced in her be in you.
Yes.
And therefore others can see without knowing the mother that Lord, because we're not going to be here forever.
No.
And as we get younger, and you all younger people get older, you're going to have to fit in that spot. And the morals and the things that seem to be going out the window, we have to have a remnant somewhere, someone that hold fast, because it always have to have that remnant. The only thing that was spared to Sodom and Gomorrah at that time, God asked me if you could just find 5 there, that we could find that love and to find the ones living the life of morality. I would spare them. So even a little bit is much. And sometimes we may feel like so disappointed and discouraged. I know a lot of times working, sometimes it seems discouraging, especially when it repeat. And your love just keep on giving. They think that you just, I'm getting over on you, you know, but I'm just really, I'm just really trying to give you a chance.
Yes.
Because I see this potential there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things. One of my favorite things in counseling, I don't know what he was thinking about, what made him write the song, but so many times I bring Michael Jackson into my counseling. Do you realize that one song, The Man in the Mirror? Have you come to grips? And I'm sure he was fighting to do it himself, help him to write this. We come to grip with everybody else in the environment, society, the TV, and everything else, and they teach these negative things for the paper, the attention, but to really care about that person, you don't find many people like Dr. Hawkins.
No, you don't. No. I haven't.
So we're going to have her duplicated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
we're changing the mindset. Even I did not put that in there as well, but I do the CIT training, which is the community intervention training for the Dayton Police Department.
okay.
So what we've been able to do is I normally have 2 plainclothes police officers go out with me.
Okay.
Well, this year they sent 6 with also retired firemen, and they came the day after they were scheduled to come, and they showed up at Anna, where Miss Carolyn is at.
Okay.
And she's like, oh my goodness, there's 5 people, no, 6 men outside, they're all police officers. I know they're here. I haven't done anything, Mr. One, I swear. I haven't done it. I said, well, open the door. I'm not opening the door. I said, well, how do you know they're police officers? I know police officers when I see them. I said, well, they're there for me. They came a day after we were scheduled.
Yes.
But we were able to change their mind. When you say change minds,
Yes.
all the police officers, they've never seen anyone clean over 30 days. I have people that have been over years with me.
Yes.
And we were able to change at least 50% of the police officers I trained that day, their mind. They did a whole 180. They said, oh, wait a minute, there are people that recover?
Yes.
This is what it looks like? So Carolyn was able to greet them that day and able to talk to them. And I had to apologize to Miss Carolyn because she wasn't expecting them then. And Miss Carolyn, if you want to share, but you said some great things. You helped change their mind.
Well, first of all, when they was knocking on the door, and I had been arrested enough by plainclothesmen back in the day. You know, went to jail one time in Atlanta 11 times. That's where my heart is for the jail ministry once I wanted to get started with that. But I kept looking out the window, and I seen the white man standing on the porch. I said, oh, I ain't got no warrants this time. I said, they ain't gonna give me this time. I felt kind of good, but I knew they was police, and I still was kind of like, because I've always had, you know, when I had warrants or whatever, just come up on me, or the bail bondsman come looking for me, jumping over the banister, getting me and looking for me. You know, it was always surprising me when they came after me. And I talked to them. I told them I was a disabled veteran and I was in recovery, and told them that I was glad to be here in Miss Tawana's house, and there really wasn't nothing out in the community for me to go to. This sober house. I was in recovery. I think I had maybe 30 days at that time, and I told them this is one of the best houses. I said she's a beautiful lady to open up her house to me, to take that chance on me. Yes. You know, she has such a sweet face, but underneath she'd be a bulldog if she has to be there.
And I'll kick a door down and go, and I go and rescue women out of the alleys.
Yeah. This one here.
No, seriously, that really happened.
No, for real. Go ahead.
We have a house meeting every week, so I do a check-in. Everybody goes over their goals, and that way you can share if you need any help or assistance. And I'm sitting here, and one of the ladies had left my home the night before, and she didn't come back. So that morning I called her, and she said she relapsed. I said, well, can I meet you, get the key, maybe refer you to someone? She goes, sure. I'm on the East End, and I'm not going to say where. But she's on the East End, and then I said, okay, that's fine. I said, after the house meeting, I'll call you. So right before the house meeting was over, maybe 10 minutes later, I see my phone go off, and it just keep ringing. I'm like, I'm in a meeting. So I look over, and it says, Miss Tawana, my friend locked me in the trailer. I'm on the East End in the alley. Can you please come? And I said, well, let me read that again, Lord, because maybe, you know, I need to readjust my glasses. Yeah. And I look again, I was like, she's in the trailer, locked in the trailer in the alley. What? I hurry up and get off the meeting, and I call the non-emergency number for the police department because they know about me. But on the weekends, it's different. It's only Monday through Friday. So on the weekend, I'm like, can you please meet me? And I know he was like, what is she talking about? Meet them in the alley behind a pizzeria. That's all I'm going to say. And sure enough, here they come. And I'm in the alley, and they said, well, call her. Because I don't know if they believe me or not, but I'm calling her. I goes, honey, I'm in a red shirt. Can you see me? She goes, follow my voice, Mr. One. I'm right here. So I take off running down the alley, and the police jump in their car, and they trying to follow me. And I get to it's not a trailer, it's a camper. Okay. I'm looking for this big, huge trailer. It's a small camper, and it's got half the window. She said the windows were busted out. And it only had a door, and on the door it had a big latch like you would a storage room with the big locks. What was you about to say?
I was gonna say with that big padlock, like you trying to protect something, like you got a home.
Something in.
Yes. You want to put a lock on your shed or something like that, so you put a nice lock on it.
Yes.
That's the type. It was a big padlock. Like this is not your friend.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not your friend at all.
They tried to break the windows out, but they were the half windows because it was small.
Yeah.
So they ended up
can't crawl out of
busting the door down and to save her life. And I'm like, they was like, we have never met a director that comes out from behind her desk that's in the alley on the East End rescuing women. I'm just thank God that she knew to text me.
Yes.
Because she knew I was coming.
Yes.
If you called me and said, and I have done that, I rescue women and men out of the crack homes we have, the dilapidated homes.
Yes.
They call them abandonminiums, where people sleep in abandoned homes. I went and knocked on the door and left food. I'll leave water, and if you're not ready, I'll plant the seed.
Yeah. First of all, if we was to go ahead and start off from the beginning, she used to go and talk to the people that used to sleep under the bridge and make sure, give them care packages and stuff like. I used to go over and help. Like, what is toothbrush? Brush. Okay. Yeah. Where is this going? This is for somebody downtown. Okay. Let's just go ahead and get it done. And it really amazed me because she's really. I'm like, Miss Tawana, this is what kind of put me in my bodyguard security mode. Like you can't just be walking up to any and everybody, but no. She will walk up to any and everybody if you look like you need help. If she has the time to help, she's going to extend that help.
Yes.
Where I'm like,
Apprehensive.
If you try to do anything with that hand, just know I'm coming with the hammer.
Yeah. Yes.
But yes, she's a walking angel.
Yeah.
And praise God, I know that's him because I've never had any incident. Because the police that come and do the training with me, they come in plain clothes.
Yes.
And I said, well, you don't need all that. Well, you still know they have their badge and they have their weapon. I said, we're good. So no pun intended, we went and I gave him a box of bagels and one a box of donuts. And we stood up under the train trestle. I said, just stand right here. He goes, right here? I said, yeah, just stand right here. Sure enough, the people know when I come. They come out to get their food. He goes, oh, they're going to make me. I just arrested that guy last week. He's going to make me. I said, just be quiet, just be quiet. So sure enough, the guy came and got a donut. He went and sat down. And the guy goes, oh. He goes, oh, he got me. He got me this time. He goes, can I have another one? And I said, see, he was just hungry.
Yes.
He wasn't even paying you attention.
Yes.
He says, how do you do this? You don't have a uniform on or a badge? And I said, it's not me. Mm-hmm. It's something bigger than me. And it goes before me before I even step foot. And they are amazed each year. So I thought I would stop training them, but they found me. So I've continued training, and I mean day-to-day in police, and I love it because they get to see a whole different side. I can go solve anything without a gun. I don't need a uniform.
Right. Right.
And it's like that I guess people see that light, and I always like, what y'all talking about? There's a light. Where is it? There's light. Where did you see it?
It's that natural aura.
Yeah.
I'll say this all the time. Genuine people find other genuine people.
Yes.
It's like we vibrate at the same frequency, so we're able to spot each other amongst the crowds.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I have a bad habit of staring, and that's as my dad did. And sometimes I would think, take me wrong, but I'd be thinking past what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that person in a different area. It seemed like you're staring at them, but I'm seeing things. I'd seen something in her, she know I've seen her at the park. The thing is, we have good people, we have bad people, but you've been out there, like you said, you can pick up things. A lot of times, as I left out, I retired first from operating engineers, and then I decided to drive RTA, and I retired from that later on. But I've seen so much just driving through the city. And sometimes I've seen people who were homeless, and I knew when they run around a couple trips and kept missing a stop, I knew they had nowhere to go. And you know, and I've seen some the things that you were talking about, that even from a different area, some guys would wait to in the wintertime, the last run for that bus. They would wait to the very last one. And I said, well, where are you getting off at? Could you drop me off on that bridge? And that's where I stayed last night. People do not realize right here in Dayton, Ohio, and throughout the state, that is quite common. And quite common, and there's some that you won't even know. Some of them will go out there to the house to go shower, clean up, and look. I mean, you never would know they were homeless. But there was a dignity, the thing about themselves, just had nowhere to go. Sometimes I tell a story, I shouldn't tell it, but I don't know the people. A young lady would get on our bus, number one, every evening with 2 children, out at Wright State University on the way back. This is the last run now, going back to the barn. She would get off at the Meyer store there. The only thing she could do was walk around there all night because it stayed open all night. And I'm saying we see so much of that even as a bus driver. And of course the detectives at different times come and did training with the drivers too, because I didn't know that. And for different things that we were involved in and you come faced with. I know that Lord shape our lives, even from a youngster, we don't know. And I was talking with another program, do you realize and do you think about some things in your life when you were younger and now you look back and say, oh, that seemed to always be a part. I don't know why I had a passion for that. It's something special that God had in your life. Even those that are incarcerated, even criminals. There are some people that are falling after the peers, but actually there's a lot of gifts and talents.
Natural gifts.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I've experienced it. There's some people that was incarcerated that could wire a house and never been an electrician.
Yes. The most talented people I ever met were in jail, and the prisons or in the hospitals.
Or in recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that's in recovery too that got all kind of skills you wouldn't believe, but the drugs or not being able to get a chance or the stigma on us, oh, I don't want them around me, and my mother, bless her soul, when she first found out at the VA hospital, she came and they told her it was a disease. And my mother, she held her pocketbook up. I said, Mama, why you holding your pocketbook like that? All these muggers and thuggers and bank robbers in here and thieves and want to run off with my purse. I said, Mama, they don't want to run off with your pocketbook because we was in the aftercare.
Yes.
And she said, I don't want to catch that disease. She just didn't know. She just didn't know.
And you have a lot of
I
people.
didn't either till the last couple of years. I just thought it was drugs. I mean, they told me, but I didn't receive it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't my time to receive it.
There's a lot of that goes on now. Physically, I'm young enough that I didn't want to do any more work, but there was so many special things. One route I hit over there on James McGee, they had some type of house, I don't know if you associate with that, where they were giving them meth or something to help them come
Project
on.
Cure?
Huh?
I know about it, but I'm not.
It's a Project Cure.
They give a methadone to treat.
treat them down to bring.
Yeah, to
That
bring
was
it out.
Project
Project
Cure.
Cure.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, I've been retired from that one over 5 years now. But the thing is, people feel and they know the difference when they come. And all I'm looking for that. And I mean, they would get on the bus. Oh, I would go down to New Lebanon, do a run and come back, and I pick up the same people. They didn't have their meth, and sometimes it'd be so strong, you know. And they knew, well, you come back to get us. I said, yes, I'm coming back. I mean, sweet people, down to earth, but they were just caught up in something they could not get out of. And I'm thankful because you guys are doorways that help people to get out. And you said the key word, that want to.
I can't want it more than you.
Right.
I can't want it more than you.
Exactly. Go ahead.
It's a fight, and we want to let them know they don't have to fight alone. I think that's what a lot of people think, they have to be out here alone. You do not have to fight alone.
No.
We have wonderful community partners. I am partnered with the Mental Health, the Adams Board. That's our alcohol, drug, and mental health services, as well as the Dayton Montgomery Public Health Department, the East End Community Center. If you need education, if you need employment, we have employers that will work with you who say, oh, no one will hire me. Yes, they will. I have people right now making $18, $19 an hour. And I have one of people that have master's degrees. They just been misdirected. So we just kind of get them back on the path to where they are. But some wonderful, when I say wonderful, great hearts as well. And we try to fight that disease she's talking about with the addiction. It's very serious. And I want to let people know that we are here. And to get more people, get the word out. Because it's so funny how she got my number. I don't advertise. I do not advertise.
The word of mouth and streak is powerful.
It's strong.
But nobody's heard of her because they say,
I will not.
They say, when I in a meeting say I'm in a sober house, and I just give them the name. Well, where is that at? We never heard of it because it's so many of these houses that these men are running $625 for rent and $200 deposit, and anybody can live in it. You still could be using drugs and getting high. They just want the money. It's just about the money, and it's just. And I was praying and hoping that I didn't end up in one of these because I wasn't ready to go out on my own and get a place or anything, and the VA wasn't offering to help me on anything. So I was just grateful and thankful for my sponsored the place that she's talking about. One of the places the sponsor work at.
Someone to go that extra mile with you. Not stop and drop you off, you know.
And leave you stranded.
Just like a prison when they let you out, a little money got on your book, your clothes on your back, and now what? You coming back.
They need help too.
They need you coming back because you get out there, you don't have nothing to stand on. Where can you go? I mean, I hate to interject, but just like slavery, after slavery, these people worked on the
Their whole life. What were you supposed to do next?
You're free. In the foreign land.
One skill, the skill that you forced on me. I still got a family.
And that's why many of them end up sharecropping, and the other one they end up going to prison because they come up with a law. If you're vagrant, say what are you going to do? Then that's what the prison was created. Let me leave that alone. That's another story.
Well, and I go out and I was one of the ones, and at my job that would go out because a lot of the counselors oh no,
This one here.
I'm busy, or they would have some, oh, I'm doing this program, I can't go. So for 5 years, that's what I've been doing, going out to the Dayton Correctional Institute right here in Dayton, and I've built a wonderful rapport. So women that have completed, and they call it IOP, which is intensive outpatient treatment in jail, they can attend it, in prison, excuse me. Once they complete it, and a lot of times women aren't released because they don't have an address. If they complete this program, I can provide the address. So out of all the women that I've placed in my home, I've been able to house them in their own house or apartment within 120 days of being released into my program. So the stats are there. People want to say, well, where's the evidence? I have it. Come let me see it. But I'm only me, so I want to spread the word. So it's so much bigger than me. And I want to spread this word, like you said. I'm getting younger by the minute. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I'll be the big 5-0.
I got my paddle.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm 25. I'll be 25 times 2. But in this mission, it's like I want to be able to share this and show people. And we are actually training people right now how to open successful, quality, standard homes. My first home was my home I lived in. Because I tried to find other places to rent. I'm like, let me find a place to even buy. No one, we don't want this in our community. I said, well, these are our brothers and sisters from the community. What do you mean? So I ended up turning my own home, and I moved into a smaller place because I had a 3-bedroom in Trotwood. I said, well, let me try my own home because I feel like if I can't live there, you can't. So my first home was my home I lived in. And I opened and it was so successful within not even 2 to 3 months. Now it's 6 in partnership in the community. And it's not by I didn't do it by myself. Like I said, it was in the community. And I have so much support. And I got to bring the women that day. We did the backpack giveaway because they said, well, how do you give back? So I brought some of them men and women from my program to give out backpacks for the kids this summer. So they got to participate. So they do give back. They're looking in ways to give back. And they're probably some of the most humblest people you ever want to meet. And that's why I try to quit telling everybody is not the same. Just because their past was drug use. Who are they now? I see Miss Carolyn, I see this beautiful person, I see a leader, I see her doing great things, and that's who I want to support. That person, I want to uplift her spirit because she don't realize how powerful she is. So how you see things in people, I see it. I see it all over her. So I know she's got something to give. And then with Trell coming in, and he goes right along with me. Anything, it's a 20, whatever you need, I'm right there. And I love it because he gets to see the kindness. He goes, Mr. One, they're going to do you wrong. I said, I don't care. I'm going to give him that love and open the door anyway.
I don't say that all the time.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I say this. I had a few people, I'm like, hey, listen, let's watch them. And then there's been a couple of them, I'm like, I got a good vibe from. 2 weeks later, the people I had a good vibe from done failed me. The people that I was like, man, we're going to watch them, done showed me. I'm like, okay. So I've learned to be a little bit more lax. I'm gonna just wait for you to show me who you are. But
got some actors out there.
Oh, but they good, man. People be winning awards and getting paid all this money. We got a whole list of actors in Dayton. I'm telling you, they deserve an Academy Award. Because. Can't say no names. But
the thing is for them, excuse me for saying, but the thing is for them, she's got houses for them. And some of them are not used to houses. Some of them, may have memories from when something happened to them when they was a childhood and took them out into the street. And it's such a beautiful thing how she doesn't hoover over us, helicopter us, and just be there every day, all day long. And sometimes, I wanted to go in on them because the microwave was dirty or they didn't know how to wash the dishes. And, I was seeing a woman I was taught when I was younger that her kitchen and her bathroom is her most precious thing in the house as far as other things to be done. And some of these women, they just didn't know. And a couple of them, I tried to talk to one of them. They cussed me out. I told Mr. Water, see, they put on the front for her. She said, she cussed you out? Yeah, she cussed me out real hard. I backed up like I ain't say nothing else to her. And she was shocked when I told her, this young lady, when I said, wiped out the microwave, get the food out the sink, just small things.
Yeah.
Some of them just don't know.
Life skills.
Yeah, they just
a lot of them don't have it. A young lady had been used to having and the lice in her hair because she said she just got used to scratch. She said, I've never had a lice treatment or anything since I've been in middle school. I'm like, what are you doing? I said, honey, sit right here. Let me part you. I put on gloves. I said, let me part. She said, no one has ever. She said, my mother has never parted my hair. She's never brushed my hair.
Yes.
And she said, this is just the most wonderful thing. She didn't want to leave. And she was another one. I'm not leaving. Oh, no. And then when I showed her just the simple things like dusting.
Yes.
And she said, well, I thought you dust around.
She couldn't stop dusting.
And when I showed her how, oh, no, honey, remove everything. We're going to wipe everything.
Yes.
And then you put it back, it's going to shine. She said, can I have the chore for another week? I've never had anyone ask for another chore to last longer than what it should, because she's never, just the simplest thing you wouldn't believe, just personal care of yourself. I can take a shower every day. There's hot water. Yes. Yes. You can relax today. It's called self-care. You can grow. You can actually think, what have I always wanted to do in life? Because a lot of people have been told, like, you do this, or you should be doing that. No, what's that creativity within you? Because I know you have it. Because you were created with a purpose.
Yes.
Let's bring that purpose out. Let's bring that to the forefront.
Yes.
And that's what I try to do with all the ones. But I will. They get on me. I'll give everyone a try.
Those life skills is very important. In fact, I haven't been in the prison ministry a long time, but some yet remember. And I may get with you, I know, because I think this one young lady, she's yet doing a lot of time in Marysville. She's done 25 years.
Wow.
And the last time she was at the board, they rejected her, so she's going for another 30. And she'll call me from time to time when she get money on her books for me to have prayer with her. And I know I'm thankful that she has the uplift enough to ask for prayer and be special. But Marysville used to be called Little Dayton when we was going up there. They used to call Little Dayton. That so many women from Dayton was in Marysville. Until now, you know, until now they, you know, have this locally here. And I don't know if Ryan had something to do with that or not, but he probably did. Because when we used to do, when they first opened up that prison that you're talking about, I even carried concerts in there. I had one of the first concerts in there. So we parallel in a lot of areas.
Yes.
We've worked in a lot of areas with the little places in those areas for a reason. And like I mentioned to some people, I'm the only one that I know minority worked at Oakwood Police Department.
Oh, wow.
And that was years ago. But the first and the last. But I feel that Lord put us in places for a reason.
Our steps are ordered, I believe.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of times you might look back and you say, if you think about the things that happened in your life when you were very young, you say, oh my God, it was there all the time. One of my favorite things, the old ragu soup commercial, you say, oregano is in there. Pepper is in there. And so a lot of things that we have done and come from, regardless where we started, it was in there.
Yes.
Even those that was incarcerated, some men have come out and now are ministers and going back into the prison with their ministry. So all these things is a purpose. And then she looked at me now, like I said, I don't know if I was staring at you. I said, but I seen something special in you. And like you said, you can pick up those things if you just sit and get quiet and look around. It's been in the public enough. And I'm going to tell you that bus driving is the public, and you know we see everything. So I'm going to tell you, believe it or not, do you know we're at the end of our production?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I tell them always,
It went so
that
fast.
it goes so quickly.
Yeah.
I have some people say, I don't know what to say all that time. You mean a whole hour we're going to be there? I said, believe me,
Yes.
you have more to say than you realize.
Yeah.
And hopefully that you said something that will help someone.
Yes.
So in my closing, I want to like each one of you might take a minute and summarize what you may want to say to the public and what you may want to say, whatever the Lord has on your mind to say, and summarize. I don't know, where should we start? Should we start with you and go around?
Well, I could just go along with the scripture that Tawana said, Philippians 4:13.
4:13.
We can do all things through Christ to strengthen us.
Praise God.
Okay. Something I want from the public.
I got to think about it.
Yeah. Love, genuine love.
Yes.
Is something that truly can save you. You just got to know where to find it or know where to look. If it's harming you, that's not love. Learn to love yourself, because you're not going to harm yourself once you start to love yourself.
Praise God. All right. Doctor?
I would like for people to know that recovery does work. And we do have great housing right here in our community that we need to make everyone aware of. If someone is hurting from drugs or alcohol and don't know where to go, give me a call. Reach out to me. I am partnered with, like I said, the Public Health and the Adams Board. We will find you housing.
Yes.
We will get you that treatment you may need. And sometimes you're just hurting and you want somebody to listen. Let us be that person to listen and be that light you need in that darkness.
Yes. And that number again?
My number is 937-265-0028.
Ooh, I can ask this pretty woman a number, can't I? What you say your number again?
937-265-0028.
Praise God. And here we are, House of Restoration.
Yes.
Community Solution.
Yes, sir.
May God bless you. May heaven smile on you is our prayer.